What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing? I am going to get started today with today's podcast, and I just want to touch base with you guys before I jumped on Spotify real quick to say I have already launched two books already. The top 25 mistakes en route to the good life and the Mentor Manifesto. If you guys got the first version of the top 25 mistakes en route to the good life, let me know. Let me know, because I am going to be sending you out a free copy. You don't even have to pay shipping for this one if you got the first one. Just show me whatever receipt you got. I'll send you out a free copy of my new second edition top 25 mistakes, as well as put you on my mailing list so that I can get you out all of my materials and treats that I have coming your way, guys. Okay, so if you already purchased the the first edition top 25 mistakes en route to the good life, you will get the second edition pro bono. I guess that's what you say, right? Right? Absolutely free, not even paying shipping. But if you haven't gotten it and you guys want the second edition top 25 mistakes en route to the good life, which I tell everybody, the second edition is the one that I polished up a little bit and put some graphics in it and just broke it down so it's a whole lot more digestible to everybody. So I'm going to be putting that out there to you guys too. And all you have to do is, if you go to my website, lieutenantsalblue.com, it'll be in the description. You can get yourself a free copy of the second edition top 25 mistakes en route to the good life for $9.95. I'm asking you guys to pay shipping and handling and for the printing of the book, guys. That's it, man. Anyway, and the reason being is I want to get this out to 10,000 people before the end of the year. So 10,000 copies I want to get out. So I'm well on my way, but we're starting to slow down. So I have to reach more people in order for them to get my book. So this is it, guys. This is what I'm doing. This is my push. I'm running that special $9.95 until I hit my 10,000 copies. So that's absolutely free, by the way, guys. I'm just paying shipping. So let's get into today's podcast. All right. So here we go, YouTube, and hello, Spotify. What's up, gang? How you guys doing? This is Lieutenant Sal Blue, 28-year law enforcement veteran and the author of the top 25 mistakes en route to the good life, coming at you with today's podcast, top 25 mistakes en route to the good life, YouTube. So anyway, guys, every day I sit down and I meditate in the morning. I do some yoga, some exercise, prepare for my day. And so lately it's been extremely chaotic in the morning, right? So I usually have about 1 hour to myself in the morning to do my journaling, do my little meditation, my breathing exercises, some stretching, get limber, get ready for the day, and then I greet my family with a joy and enthusiasm, right? So that is usually how I set up my day. That is what I expect of my day. That is what I plan for well in advance for my day. And that has not been happening lately, right? So for all you guys that don't know, we've been attempting to break in a new addition to our family, to our routines and our sleeping patterns. That is my little princess Akita, a miniature Dutch hound who is a ball of fire, tons of energy, right? And so she pushes everybody's patience and everybody's limits. And I try to explain to everybody in the household that she is an infant. She's only 4.5 months old. So don't expect her to act with the same maturity as my 15-year-old pit lab Shelby. So as they learn to make that adjustment and actually try to be more understanding, hopefully these challenges help them to grow as well. So I know it's definitely helping me to grow in the morning, because if I don't get up early enough, I don't get to do my full routine how I do it. It's very, very difficult to relax, take deep breaths, and meditate when you have a 4.5-month-old puppy howling in your ear, right? So there goes that, right? But I've had to make some adjustments, and I'm continuing to make adjustments, and at the same time trying to help her to make adjustments in her habits and routines so that she can get used to all of us. So hopefully she breaks before we break, and everybody learns something from this experience. So let's get to today's podcast, man. Someone asked me, right, and what they were faced with. I'll give you a little situation of what they're faced with, right? They are the only person in their family right now who is trying to do something other than just go to work and do a 9 to 5, right? Everybody in his family has just been laborers, cleaners, right? Cleaning at the movies, cleaning in hotels, just doing stuff like that, you know. So he is the youngest of 4 children. He was the only one that went to school, right? None of his older siblings went to college. His first year of college, he just realized, listen, this is not for me. And so, and he wasn't the best of students, so he just let it go. He dropped out of college. His parents were very, very disappointed, but at the same time, they told him that he needs to get a laborer job, maybe work in a factory or get a job as they do, cleaning, and just join the family unit and just be a cleaner, a maid, or work at a hotel. So he is fighting against that, right? He is fighting against it, and that is not the route that he wants for his life. He's seen something better. He's listened to something more, and he wants to try to do something more than just work a 9 to 5, you know, like everybody else in his family. He wants to be different. So he asked me this question, and I figured I would throw this question out there to you guys, and you guys could tell me how I answered this. How did I work it out for him, and will he come through with this, right? So the question he said, and I'll ask it to you: how do I carry on when everyone else tells you to give up, right? To quit, to call it something you're not going to do, right? How do you do it? And I told him 3 things, right? And these are 3 habit things I believe that you have to implement, because you're going to have to develop a very, very strong willpower in order to overcome your entire circle of influence telling you to give up and quit. Because there are people in your circle of influence that you kind of trust their opinion, you know? Even though you want to do something, their opinion is weighing on your will, right? It's weighing on your will. It's not weighing on the fact that you want to do it or don't want to do it. You know you want to do it. But their opinion is weighing on your will. And so what I'm talking about today is how to strengthen that, how to get stronger, and how to survive even in an environment where most of your environment is trying to pull you back down to where everybody else is, right? Now, granted, the best case scenario is to get out of that situation. But if you're young and you're not financially capable of doing that, then you have to do these things in order to work on your will so you can resist and overpower, okay, that circle of influence that is trying to drive you back down into the barrel, guys. So here goes, man. The first thing I told him is finish what you begin, right? And I know that you dropped out of college. I get it, right? You felt that it wasn't for you. But I'm going to tell you something that is extremely important. And you should have learned this in your younger years in sports and everything else. But if you didn't, so what? It's okay. Finish what you began, right? So if you decided that you were going to go to college, I would suggest that you had finished it. But, you know, college is a financial burden, so that is not something that you don't want to do. So I suggest that you did not even start it. because I believe that was somebody else's path that they put you on, and you went ahead and tried to jump into that. But you want to do entrepreneurship, and I get it. So finish what you started. Start with the small things. Start with the small things. Start with, I don't know, everybody talks about making your bed in the morning. Start with making your bed in the morning, right? That is completing the process of sleep, right? You go to bed. Before you go to bed, you should have a made-up bed, nice and neat and clean, right? You get in your bed, you fold back your sheets, you prepare for bed, you get in the bed, you go to sleep, you wake up, you dress the bed back up. I always tell my children, dress your bed each and every day. And my philosophy was, you never know who's going to come over, right? You never know who's going to stop by, so you always want your house to look presentable, right? I kind of learned that mostly from my wife, but anyway, I tell my children that anyway. The second thing is, whatever you decide to do, right? If you decide to be a janitor and clean, right? If you decide to work in a factory and carry boxes every day, whatever you decide to do, right? Do it better than you think you can, right? If you think you can, I don't know, ship 20 boxes a day working for Amazon, try to ship 21 today and 22 tomorrow, and just increase your efficiency. All right? Whatever you are doing, try to do it better. And last but not least, do more than what you think you can do. There's always in our brains. I know when I used to work out in the gym all the time, right? The natural rep was do 10 reps. Do 10 reps, do 10 reps, right? And so you're lifting a certain weight, and mentally in your mind, it starts to slow you down as you get closer to 10 reps, right? So you're like 7, 8, and even though you probably could do more, you start to get tired at 10, and then you do that 10th rep and you barely get that rep off, and you rack it up, and woo, you're done. And in a minute, 30 seconds later, you're ready to do 10 more reps, guys. So tell me, is it your mind telling you you can't do more? Of course it is, guys. You're programming yourself to have limits. So that's why I tell them, do more than what you think you can. That is so important in developing a strong will, right? Now, this is how you develop what some people see as an unnatural will to carry on despite your circumstances. People see this as unnatural, right? They look at you and they're like, why doesn't this guy quit? Why doesn't this guy give up? He has some unnatural talent or some unnatural ability, when the truth is that you are doing these 3 things every single day, guys. Now, in my life, what I found was that the more I'm aware of everything around me, as well as the thoughts inside of me, guys, I have a much easier time controlling my day. So when I say pay attention to things around you, I mean pay attention to your environment. Pay attention to the words that people say to you, right? Pay attention to what you're picking up on and what you're listening to, right? If you find yourself picking up on a whole lot of negative conversations, then you need to start moving your way away from those negative conversations. If you find yourself having those negative conversations in your own mind when you're all alone, then you need to cease and desist immediately those negative conversations you're having in your mind, right? See, so pay attention to your environment, inner and outer environment. It will definitely help you to control your day a whole lot better, guys. I found that when I don't pay attention to my environment, things start to sway me, and eventually when they start swaying you, just like a pendulum, the momentum to bring you back the other way is almost completely out of your control, guys. So pay attention to everything around you and all of the words that you say to yourself and the thoughts that go in your head, man. Pay close attention. Now, guys, in the beginning, right? In the beginning, when I was first made aware of this, I was young, guys. When I was first made aware of this, my feeble mind had a very difficult time, right? Because it still believed that my life was controlled by outside circumstances. I was running around saying this person and that person and that person and you. Everybody had control of all of the bad things that was happening in my life, as well as all of the good things that were happening in my life. I had no control over. Things were just happening because of luck, because of chance, right? I wasn't in control of it. Or so I thought, right? And it's because I was allowing other things to control my thoughts, and I was not controlling the things that came through my mind and my environment. I wasn't in control of that. So that is why I gave up the control to outside forces, guys. But once I began to exercise my mind muscle every day, things began to change. Things began to change. I exercised it so much, right, that what I did, it became so obvious that I could not be ignored, right? It could not be ignored. So, what does this mean, guys? What does this mean to you, right? And how does it affect your life? How does controlling your thoughts and your mind and the people around you and the words you take in and the things you hear, how does it affect your life each and every day? I want you guys to think about that often. Think about what outside of you has control of has you allowed to control your life, right? What thoughts, what people say, what things are going on, what the news says, what the environment, everything. How is it coming at you, and how are you allowing it to have control over your life, right? Because things can't take control of your life. You have to relinquish control in order for things and outside forces and people to have control over your life. You have to relinquish it. So if you don't relinquish it, you maintain control, guys. Things can happen to you, but all of this is up to you. What you think and how you think of circumstances that go on is up to you. So I guess I could best explain the answer to that question by quoting Lao Tzu, right? Lao Tzu, who said something very, very profound. He said many things profound, but in the Art of War, he said, "Watch your actions because they become your habits. Watch your habits because they become your character. Watch your character because it becomes your destiny," guys. Now, your character is so important because the only one who can monitor your character is you, guys. I used to have written on my training wall when I was a training lieutenant about character, and I used to write it down in the academy on the board every single time a class came through. And I defined the character as who you are when no one is watching, guys. Who you are when no one is watching defines your character. And it is your character, right, as Lao Tzu says, that defines your destiny. And the reason why your character defines your destiny is because your character is made up of what you do each and every day without any outside impulse forcing you to do it, right? Because if somebody has to force you to do something each and every day, you're not gonna continue. You're gonna wait until the moment when they're not watching you, and you're gonna stop doing it, right? This holds true like in parenting, right? When you're a parent, you're trying to tell your kids to wash the dishes every day. You're trying to tell them to do the laundry every day, you know. And if you are continually forcing them to do it over and over and over again, and they have no will of their own to do it because it is not in their character to be conscientious of that, then the moment you're not looking, they're not going to do it. You know, I have a constant battle with my children of washing dishes, right? And so it's always washing dishes, and I've tried many, many ways. I even went old school and tried to shame them into it, right? But the one thing that I realize is that when I am not watching, they will not do it. So when they're living on their own and they have their own house, and hopefully they will see how we keep our home, the home that they used to live in before they moved out, and something will click in them so that they will have the will within themselves to be clean and conscientious about everything that they do in their household. So that's just something that I wanted you guys to be able to relate to, especially if you have kids, man. It's just a lot of things that we try to force upon them that we have to step back and begin to give them the building blocks to want to do that, the building blocks of their character. So small things we have to feed them in order for them to make the big decisions that truly matter and how their lives turn out. So listen, guys, that was just a question that I wanted to throw out to you guys today of somebody. Tell me how I answered it. Did I do okay? Will he get some good information out of what I gave him today? Let me know in the comments, guys. How do I carry on when everyone else tells me to give up? You know, I could have told him tons of things, but I wanted to think through this and help him to make his own decision on exactly how he was going to handle it, but also to give him the foundational information that will help him to make an educated choice and how he was going to carry through with it. So hopefully I helped someone else out as well in these questions that people ask me that I put out to you guys. So anyway, listen, if you guys have not done it yet, hop on over to lieutenantsalblue.com, right, and grab up your free copy of the Top 25 Mistakes en Route to the Good Life. The second edition is on sale at my store, as well as I have a little upsell of my audiobook that I spent 7 days recording. That audiobook, man, it's about 9 hours, and if you run it at twice the speed, you could probably get through it in about 4 hours, right? 4 hours, you'll rip through that book, but tons of excellent material, as well as the material in my book. So you guys will get the most out of that as well. I have a Top 25 Mistakes course that I am running, as well as I do one-on-one coaching. So you can check all of that out over at lieutenantsalblue.com. Check me out as well, guys. Make sure you go on to Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter. It's supposed to be 6, but anyway, check out all of the social media platforms, guys, and give me a shout out. Shoot me a DM. Tell me, what would you like me to talk about on today's podcast? All right, so that's it. Pretty soon I'm going to be going to my weekly live webinars, guys, and weekly live Zoom calls and weekly Facebook lives that I'll be doing, guys. So you'll be able to check me out live once a week, every single week. I'll be doing that to either start off the week or finish off the week. I don't know how I'm going to set that up just yet, but I'll be doing that as well. And that's it for today, man. This is Lieutenant Sal Blue. Thank you for hanging out with me for the last 25 minutes, guys, on YouTube, 20 minutes on Spotify. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow with my next podcast. Make sure you guys send me some questions, and I'll give you some top-notch answers. All right? I will talk to you tomorrow. You guys have a fantastic evening. Deuces.